going on? It's been a little while since I made a video. I do apologize. Between moving to Boston and job hunting, I really haven't found a whole lot of time to make a video, but here I am now. And as you requested, I'm going to be making some body tracing tutorials. For now, what I want to start with is expanding upon the basic ideas that most people already know, like taking the archer weave and turning it into a tracer. Those tutorials have been done. What do you do from there? Well, what I like, there's a lot of different approaches to body tracing and different people will teach it different ways. The way that I like to teach it is actually from weaves, since that's one of the moves that most people are the most comfortable with, and we'll take it from there and build a good foundation that will carry you all the way through to advanced techniques. And you can just kind of build upon this foundation and branch from it. Now right off the bat, I want to say that before continuing with this tutorial, you should be comfortable with a 3-beat archer tracing weave. There's tutorials for this on YouTube right now. I believe Drex has one on his YouTube channel. So you're going to want to be familiar with this in both directions. And if you can do this this translation from side to side already, that is quite a bonus. What that consists of is either 2 under the armpit reels or 2 over the shoulder reels, depending on which side you're coming from or which direction your poi are spinning. I can point out that if you're spinning forward as you're looking at it, your poi are going to come under the armpits, native poi initiating first, like this. Okay? And when they're coming at you in reverse, like this, native hand leads to the top shoulder, and then over to the other side. So if you can do that, that's going to be a plus. I'm going to get more into that later. Another point that I want to point out here is that I'm going to align all of these archer tracer weaves onto the 9-square grid. So if you're already familiar with Charlie's 9-square theory, then you'll know right where I'm going with this. If you're not, then I recommend that you look it up on YouTube. Charlie's 9-square theory. It can be a little dry to sit and listen to, but if you find yourself with some time, I do recommend you do that because it will help you understand so much more about the world of tech poi. So as a quick intro to what I'm going to be covering here, as you saw in the intro clip, we're taking this archer weave and we're going to point that archer weave in different directions, like down, out, ceiling's a bit low, we're going to point it up. So we're going to get comfortable with this whole range of motion here. And this starts already opening up doors for anti-spin body tracing. So as we get comfortable with this, or let's just start right here, get in your regular archer weave, then start tracing it when you're comfortable. Point it down, get back down towards your ankle. Try to hold that there. Sometimes it can be tough because it's tight, but you'll get comfortable with it over time. Start to raise it up. Now reach for the sky. When you can do this pretty fluidly, you're ready to move on to switching to the other side. But before we learn the switch, let's actually just start right over here and do the same process that we did for my left side. Point it down, slowly bring it up, get it as high up as you can. And get comfortable with this. Now is when the transition from side to side comes in. But what I like to do is as I'm spinning forward on this side, I trace underneath, I come over the top, and I come to the top of my shoulder here. Now I always initiate the transition with my native hand. So if I'm spinning forward, I'm going to be going under my armpits here. So my native hand comes under the armpits. It's going to the back side. Looks like this. Back side to front side. It's you might recognize it as a snake. It's a pretty common body tracing maneuver. That's the motion that you're going for. So it's coming under, and then my other hand, my non-native hand, is going to come under its armpit. And then, quickly followed by my left hand onto the top of this shoulder. This arm extends, and then I trace out and back in until I'm under the armpit. Native hand first to the top of the shoulder, because we're going in reverse now. Top of the shoulder with the other hand, armpit, out. And now we're back at step one. So we come out and around, armpit, armpit, shoulder, out. Trace, armpit, shoulder, shoulder, armpit, out. Trace, armpit, armpit, shoulder, out. Trace, shoulder, shoulder, armpit, out. So it's a pattern. It feels kind of like the Macarena. But that will be the key element here as we switch from side to side. Okay, is knowing that when you're coming from this side in reverse, you're coming over the tops of your shoulders. When you're coming from this side, under the armpits. And it always native hand first. Okay? So let's practice that for a bit. We got an archer weave, shoulder, armpit, armpit, shoulder, extension, and then trace. Okay? And we're back here. We start at the armpit, shoulder, shoulder, armpit, extension. Then we can trace again. Okay? So practice that for a bit. And just pause the video and practice that, get it good. If you already have it, then let's continue. We'll move on. Once you have that, what you're going to try to do is align where we have a line here. Our transition is in a straight alignment through our 9 square grid. We're going to change that alignment. Let's go from this square to the bottom square. We're going to make a right angle, we're going to come across and then go down. So let's try that out here. We have our trace. We initiate with non-native hand at the top of the shoulder. Here, armpit, armpit, down. And then you trace. Now this is the exact same motion as when we come over here. We're just pointing the bow down a bit. Okay? And the same goes for the reverse of this. Once we reach the armpit with my non-native hand, I go shoulder, shoulder, armpit, and extend. Okay, I'll do that a few times. Good. I'll do it one time from the back. Two times. And so that's how you do it. You can make this in angles. You can change the alignment from here to here. So, starting here again, point your bow up. Low ceilings, love them. Point your bow up, and the same way you would if it was in the flat orientation, the top of the shoulder to begin, armpit, armpit, down. And bringing it back, up. Now, you have these unique opportunities at the top and the bottom to do a transition from side to side without using your reels. When you start with your bow down here, there's a moment where your hands are both together. Right here, they are equal. Now you can begin, this is the same position that you'll end up in if you were tracing on this side. Exact same position. So from here, you can go to either side. And you can do them fluidly. Without skipping a beat. Honestly, you should probably see it once you try it. You'll see how it just kind of fits right into each other. it fits just as well as turning with the weave, you know. It's just like, you get here and you're like, oh, okay, I go over here. Oh, okay, I come under here, good, yeah. It's pretty intuitive. That's why I really like this method. And you have the same opportunity above you, as I mentioned. Oh, get real low. I'm going on my knees. So, you're tracing up like this. You have that moment where you're in like a windmill, your hands are together, and then you can come down onto the other side and trace your other arm. So with having practiced all that, you should have a pretty good foundation to build your body tracing off of. These are really fun to play with, and you can do a lot of kind of mix and matches. I mean, remember that you're playing with the 9-square grid, so you can go from right to center up, right, center, left, right, center, down, right, center, right. Wherever you want to go, you can play with that. You have your center point, you can go diagonal, any which way that you want to go. And because you're using something simple like reels or you're using reels as your center point, you can do unlimited amounts of things from reels. Like they're so simple, they're real pivotal, real foundation based. So now that we've covered that, I just want to go over a few exercises just to point out some of the interesting patterns that you can do to start with. They're nothing that you won't figure out on your own, just maybe give you a little jump start. So we know that from several other patterns that we play with, say with anti-spin flowers in wall playing. So we know that we can cut the 9-square in half and do half a flower like this. We know that we can do half flowers like this, bring it over to the other side and do another one. We know that we can kind of cut and mix and match with most things in wall playing. So we can do the same thing with this. Let's play with the lower half. Let's go like this. You have an in-spin, and then you have anti-spin. In-spin, anti-spin. Now nothing different, nothing special is happening here. This is literally everything that I just showed you. It's just arranged in a smooth, kind of a rocky motion. It feels very nice to do. It can be turned into a whole fountain. Some of you may have seen a tracer fountain like this before. I think Alien John does this, maybe? You can do it in anti-spin. You can do, I believe we already covered this one, just this half of the circle. This in and of itself is very nice. It feels nice, it looks nice. I hope this helped some of you guys out. And in some of the future tutorials for this, I'm going to show you some other things that you can stack onto this to change it up a bit. Until next time, peace.